You know, a lot of guys think if I could just win this battle over self-doubt, I'd never struggle again. Seriously, they think they would always feel confident, always feel strong, always feel certain. That's just not how it works. You see, winning your battle over self-doubt doesn't mean that the fight is over. It means you've had a breakthrough. And this is an important point. A breakthrough doesn't win the war. A breakthrough puts you in position to win it, though. The breakthrough that you're looking for, it's the understanding that you're not fundamentally or intrinsically flawed. It's the belief that with God, you can do every good thing He had in mind when He made you. You see, before the fight, you fight from fear. You believe something's wrong with you. Something's missing, something's broken. You just feel stuck, like no matter what you do, you just can't change. But after the breakthrough, you don't fight from that place anymore. You know something's different. You know who you are. You're God's masterpiece. You've been made anew in Christ Jesus. And you know this, God makes you enough for every good thing He created you to do. No, it doesn't mean that your bad habits suddenly disappear. It doesn't mean that your struggles suddenly go away. It means that you no longer believe that you are the problem. You know, with God's help, I'm not stuck. I see an incredible parallel between ancient Israel crossing the Jordan River to enter the Promised Land and us having our breakthrough. Crossing the Jordan River was that breakthrough moment. It didn't mean that there were no more battles. It meant they were finally in position to take possession of everything that God had already given them. You see, before crossing, they wandered in unbelief. After the crossing, they walked in God's promises. The breakthrough for us, it's like Israel standing at the edge of the water, knowing what God said is true, but thinking about all the giants in the land. And then that moment comes when you finally trust God and you step into the water, trusting what God says. Everything changes. Now, for some of you, this isn't just a story. This is your life. It sounds like this. Here's you standing with your own thoughts. I could never be the kind of husband or the kind of dad my kids need me to be. But then you have that awakening thought, that breakthrough thought, like stepping into cold water. But if God is God and He's with me, He makes me enough to be the kind of husband and the father and the leader that God's called me to be. Now, here's something interesting to know. You still have the same life. You still have the same responsibilities, the same challenges, the same struggles, the same flaws, the same you, but a completely different place from which you're living. And that's what happens when you move past self-doubt to trust. You don't step into an easy life. You step into a new identity. You still feel battles. You still face fear. You feel stretched. But now you fight differently. I can't promise you that when you win your battle over self-doubt, you're suddenly going to be fearless. But I can promise you this from experience. You fear less and less and less. Not because the challenges get easier, but because you're trusting God gets stronger. You're no longer trying to prove that you're enough. You're standing on the truth. God makes you enough. You're no longer fighting to become someone different. You're fighting from whom God already says you are. Now, let's imagine you've crossed over. You're not just surviving anymore. You're advancing. Like Israel, you begin to take back every square inch of the ground that the enemy has stolen from you. And you're not taking it back by grit, determination, or commitment. You're taking it back by faith. You're no longer asking, can I do this? With doubt. You're saying with confidence, with God's help, I can and I will. This understanding is going to give you incredible, confident humility. When you start winning these battles, you don't walk around saying, look at me. No, you know better than that. You know it's all by God's grace. And by the way, here's something else. You know how we often dread the fights, the changes that we're going to have to fight through to change? It goes away. As a young man, I was a boxer. One time I fought the Golden Gloves Open Class champion, and I beat him soundly. After the fight, I had a pounding headache, a black eye, and I'd taken some pretty serious shots. But you know what? I don't remember. I don't remember much about the pain. I don't remember much about the struggle. But I remember a lot about the fight and the victory. The joy of winning. It overshadowed everything else. You know, when those you lead see you winning fights that you thought you could never win, but you're winning them now by the grace of God, you'll know it was worth the fight. It was worth trusting God, stepping in to the battle. You still fight, you still feel the fight, but the victory now, it defines the moment. So what does it actually look like to win your battle with self-doubt? It looks like a breakthrough. You still have the same struggles, but you're not stuck. You still face fear, but you move forward anyway. Times you feel inadequate, but you trust God anyway. You still fight battles, but you no longer question the outcome, and that's a big deal. Because you know, I'm God's masterpiece. With His help, I can and I will win this battle too. Friend, you're on a journey of faith, a journey to become and to do every good thing that God had in mind when He made you. So maybe the real question isn't, why do I still struggle? Maybe the better question is, have you had a breakthrough? Have you crossed over from doubt to trust? Listen, if you're tired of losing that same battle over and over again, if you're ready to have that breakthrough, to stop fighting from fear, to start fighting from truth and trust, I'd love to help you do that. You can reach out to me, click the link inside the descriptions. You can schedule a call with me. We'll have a coffee chat, a 30-minute call where I just give you free coaching. You're welcome to get my book, Shameless, The Life You Were Born to Love. Join the Truly a Masterpiece workshop. It's coming up, I think it's the first Wednesday of every month. Join it. Check out the Masterpiece Brotherhood group. All the links for these things are inside the show notes. These are things that are available to you through Craig Walker Coaching. I'd love to see you. I'd love to help you. Let's win this together. Till next time, may God help you to live that life you were born to love.